Hello, everyone, and welcome to the English Practice Podcast. I'm really glad you're here today. If this is your first time listening, this channel is created to help you practice English in a simple, natural, and relaxing way. Every day, we share English lessons that help you improve your listening, build your speaking confidence, and learn useful phrases for real-life conversations. In today's episode, you will practice listening carefully, repeating naturally, and speaking step by step with me. So take a moment, relax, and get ready. Let's begin today's English practice together. Today, I want to talk about something many English learners understand very well, the feeling of studying English for a long time, but still not being able to speak. Maybe you know many English words. Maybe you have learned grammar before. Maybe you have watched many English videos, saved many lessons, and written many notes. But when someone asks you a simple question in English, suddenly your mind becomes blank. You know the answer in your own language. You know what you want to say, but the English words do not come out. You start translating in your head. First, you think in your language. Then you try to find the English words. Then you check the grammar. Then you worry about your pronunciation. And by the time you're ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. So you smile. You stay quiet. And later, you feel disappointed with yourself. You ask yourself, why can't I speak English? But today, I want you to understand something important. The problem is not always that you don't know enough English. Sometimes the problem is that you have studied English silently for too long. You read silently. You listen silently. You learn grammar silently. You remember vocabulary silently. But speaking English is not silent. Speaking English needs your mouth. It needs your voice. It needs repetition. It needs confidence. And most importantly, it needs daily practice. For a long time, I thought I needed more grammar before I could speak. I thought I needed more vocabulary. I thought I had to wait until my English was perfect, but that was the mistake, because you do not become confident by waiting. You become confident by practicing. You do not become fluent by only studying English. You become more fluent by using English again and again. So one day, I stopped asking myself, how can I learn more English? And I started asking a better question. How can I use the English I already know every day? That question changed everything. I started with a very simple habit, just 10 minutes a day, not 2 hours, not a complicated study plan, not a difficult lesson, just 10 minutes of listening and speaking out loud. Every morning, I chose one short English audio. It could be a short story, a simple conversation, a podcast episode, or just a few useful sentences about daily life. The topic did not need to be special. It could be about breakfast, work, family, shopping, travel, feelings, plans, or a normal day. Then I listened to the audio once. The first time, I did not try to understand every single word. I just listened. I listened to the sound of English, the rhythm, the pauses, the way the speaker connected words, the way the sentence moved. Then I listened again. But this time, I paused after each sentence, and I repeated it out loud. At first, it felt strange. My voice sounded awkward. My pronunciation was not perfect. Sometimes I repeated one sentence many times, and it still did not sound right. But I kept going. Because my goal was not to be perfect. My goal was to be better than yesterday. Not perfect, just better than yesterday. That is a very important idea. When you practice English, do not ask yourself, is my English perfect? Ask yourself, is my English a little better than before? That is enough. Small improvement every day becomes a big change over time. For example, listen to this sentence. What are you going to do today? Now repeat it slowly. What are you going to do today? Again. What are you going to do today? Now, a little more naturally. What are you going to do today? In real English, people do not always speak word by word. They connect words. They reduce sounds. They speak in small groups of words. And when you repeat after native or natural speakers, your ears start to understand English better. Your mouth also starts to feel more comfortable. You are not only learning English with your eyes, You are learning English with your ears, your mouth, and your body. After repeating the sentence, I did one more thing. I changed the sentence to make it about my own life. For example, if the audio said, I'm going to meet my friend this afternoon, I repeated it, then I changed it. I'm going to study English this evening. I'm going to cook dinner tonight. I'm going to call my sister later. I'm going to clean my room after work. This step is very powerful because now you are not only copying English, you are creating your own English. You are using English to talk about your real life, and that is when English becomes more natural. Many learners only repeat sentences from books. That is helpful. But if you want to speak, you also need to make your own sentences. They can be simple. They do not need to be impressive. Simple English is still English. Clear English is good English. After a few days, I noticed something small. When someone asked me, "How was your day?" I did not panic as much. I could answer, "It was good. I was busy, but I'm okay." That sentence was not advanced. It was not perfect, but it came out faster than before, and that gave me confidence. Confidence does not always come from speaking perfectly. Sometimes, confidence comes from saying one simple sentence without fear, then another sentence, then another. Little by little, you start to believe, I can speak. At night, I added another small habit. Before sleeping, I spoke to myself in English for 2 minutes. Only 2 minutes. I talked about my day. I did not write anything. I did not prepare a script. I just spoke. For example, today was a normal day. I woke up early. I had coffee. I worked a lot. I felt tired in the afternoon. But I practiced English and I feel happy about that. Tomorrow I want to practice again. Very simple, very normal, but very useful. Because speaking English is not only about knowing words, it is also about feeling comfortable. Your mouth needs to get used to English, your brain needs to get used to thinking in English, and your heart needs to feel safe when you make mistakes. At first, I made many mistakes. I used the wrong tense, I forgot easy words. I stopped in the middle of a sentence. Sometimes I spoke very slowly. Sometimes I sounded like a child, but I did not stop. Because I learned something very important. Bad English is not the enemy. Silence is the enemy. If you speak badly, you can improve. If you make mistakes, you can learn. If you say something wrong, you can correct it. But if you stay silent every day, nothing changes. So please, do not wait until your English is perfect. Start speaking with the English you have now. Use simple sentences. Use easy words. Repeat useful phrases. Talk about your life and do it every day. Your daily practice can be very simple. Listen, repeat, change the sentence. Speak about your life. That is it. Listen, repeat, change the sentence. Speak about your life. You do not need a perfect plan. You need a habit. You do not need to study for 5 hours. You need to show up every day. Even 10 minutes can help if you do it consistently. After 30 days, you may not speak like a native speaker. And that is okay. That is not the goal. The goal is to feel less afraid. The goal is to respond faster. The goal is to understand more. The goal is to speak with more confidence. The goal is to stop thinking, I can't speak English, and start thinking, I'm improving. Because you are improving. Every time you listen carefully, you improve. Every time you repeat out loud, you improve. Every time you make your own sentence, you improve. Every time you speak, even when you feel nervous, you improve. Fluency is not built in one perfect day. Fluency is built in many small, imperfect days. One sentence, one mistake, one correction, one more try, again and again. So today I want you to try something with me. Think about this simple sentence. I want to improve my English. Now say it out loud. I want to improve my English. Again, I want to improve my English. Now change it. I want to speak English more confidently. Say it. I want to speak English more confidently. Again, I want to speak English more confidently. Now make it about today. Today, I will practice for 10 minutes. Say it. Today, I will practice for 10 minutes. Again, today, I will practice for 10 minutes. Good. That is how you start. Not with perfect English, not with difficult grammar, not with fear, but with one simple sentence. Then another, and tomorrow you do it again. Maybe you have studied English for years. Maybe you feel frustrated. Maybe you think you are too slow. Maybe you feel shy when you speak. But remember this, you are not too late. You are not bad at English. You just need to practice using English, not only studying it. Start small. Choose one short audio. Listen to it. Repeat the sentences out loud. Take one sentence and change it to fit your life. Then speak for 1 or 2 minutes about your day. Do this every day for 30 days. Not because 30 days will make you perfect, but because 30 days can make you braver. 30 days can make English feel familiar. 30 days can teach your brain that English is not only a subject. English is something you can use. And when you start using English every day, your English will begin to change. So the next time you feel afraid to speak, remind yourself, I do not need to be perfect. I just need to practice. I just need to say one sentence and then one more. Thank you for practicing with me today. I'm proud of you for showing up and spending this time with your English. Before you go, remember your practice for today. Listen, repeat, change the sentence, speak about your life. Do this every day and slowly you will feel the difference. I couldn't speak English until I started doing this every day, and maybe this simple habit can help you too. See you in the next episode of the English Practice Podcast, and